Doctors, what's up now? How many were you able to do in the two? This is us. I was away no day important.
It was one I was thinking before now. I started that one first.
Okay.
I was thinking I could meet up because I was posting as I was sniping the rest.
Okay.
Before the network was bad. I actually sniped all of them, but the network was bad. I couldn't post them.
Okay. So tomorrow, just concentrate on those more important courses. English, maths first.
Okay. I actually sniped the literature, I think.
Yeah, that one is also okay. So English, maths, literature, chemistry, physics, science subjects, they are more sure.
How many letters is that?
This is with the outskirts of Abuja on the wind down. Because of the security.
Okay, yes,
lots of people. They say people from Niger State with camel, bike, and all that. They enter Abuja.
Serious.
Yesterday.
The security situation is just really bad.
They said they reached 700, 800.
Once I come in, they come.
Camel, donkey, bike, women, children, men.
Okay, you know, say one state say they don't they displace some
They don't
communities.
migrate.
Okay, now they turn they run the
But all those bad people feel join them. You know that they do.
countries, something else. Something else.
I think characters should invest where they are. Don't lock down.
Serious.
When they call their children to come back home, before waiting at home for Cardinal will come out.
That those greenfield,
Yes.
and they never release them.
No,
back.
they don't release them.
Okay, they don't read all of them.
The federal government complain now. Everybody
Okay.
don't be paid. They know they pay time on top of anybody.
Situation is so bad. Okay, hello and welcome. John, are you there?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, we're going to be looking at I don't know. When I share the books for review for the JAMB literature in English. So like some people, I don't know. I want to be corrected if I'm wrong, but the book I shared, the books I shared are from the CD. So whenever you go to register for JAMB, they normally give these this novel. So inside the novel now, they put a CD there. And that CD represents the most current of both the brochure, the school combination, the syllabus, and everything. So that CD, I opened this, got it out, put it on my system, and played it to see the current books that you guys are supposed to use. So it was in that I saw Othello and some other literature. So I shared it out. I made a video of it and shared it. So some people were like, but in their exam focus, because you know that exam focus summarizes, it it summarizes the various books, the literature works. So like this now, this is the exam focus, the latest one. So if you open this exam focus, which is the latest one, you'll not see Othello there because recently they migrated to some other books, and that's what this book worked on. But the exam focus that came before this one has Othello. So
Okay.
most of these textbooks, they work on what was current as at the time of their publications. So those texts that
Yes.
some people were talking to me about, I think those ones are actually from the latest publication, which was the last year's own. And that's why it does not have the Othello. Okay. But Othello had been there before in JAMB. That's why they want the exam focus of the previous years have Othello in them. So that is the argument that I wanted us to sort out because my teachers already started working on the summary of Othello for this class. But when I got the information, I was not, I didn't know what to like. I wanted the people making the argument to actually check with the CD they have so that we can understand ourselves better. Okay. So in Othello, an influential senator of Venice called Brabantio had a beautiful daughter by name. Okay, please let me make sure this is done well. Abraham, there's one this thing I gave. Tell him to give him that book. So, John, we had lectures on the basic introduction to literature, where we looked at the genres, the styles of literature. We looked at drama. If you check our YouTube channel and check what we've done so far, you see that we've treated drama, we've treated prose, we've treated poetry, we've treated figures of speech. So when we finished all these, we now want to start evaluating the various literatures.
Okay, sir.
So please, if you miss those classes, it's good you check them out.
All right, sir.
So an influential senator of Venice called Brabantio has a beautiful daughter by name Desdemona. Desdemona. Okay, the spellings are right. So all description of Suitor who was of her climb and complexion came for her hand in marriage. So this her daughter was so beautiful that plenty people were coming for her hand in marriage, but she turned down their request. She was turning them down. Instead, she fell in love with a Moor, a black, who, although loved by her father, was not the type of person he would have wished she married. So this girl turned down all those that her father had expected her to accept as a companion. But instead, she fell in love with a Moor, a black man, who, although her father loved this black man, but he didn't expect that she married that black man. So Othello, the Moor, was a soldier and a brave one too. So you can now find out that this Othello was actually that black guy that this beautiful lady known as Desdemona fell in love. To the displeasure of her father, the influential senator of Venice known as Brabantio. Okay, so Othello was treasured by the Venetian establishment because of his conduct of the bloody wars against the Turks. So this guy Othello, this black guy Othello, is a very valuable resource by the Venetian establishment because of his conduct of bloody wars against the Turks. He had, as a consequence, risen to the rank of general in the Venetian military service. So because of his exploits during the wars, during the bloody wars with the Turks, he rose in rank to the rank of a general in the Venetian military service and was very much regarded and trusted by the state. So you can see he's a very, very respectable human being. Othello, a black Moor that had the love of Desdemona. I'll find it difficult pronouncing this name for some time, but I hope you keep up with me. So a widely traveled man with a rich experience of wars and adventures, full of stories, Desdemona loved to listen to his many tales of battles, sieges, perils on land and on water, hairbreadth escapes, life in a prisoner of war in enemy territory. So you see that this man is a very widely experienced man. He has gone to several wars, and from these several wars, he got so many experiences. And now he can use such experience to tell stories. Stories that this lady, Desdemona, found very, very interesting. Because you find out that somebody that is so experienced, and when we were kids and our parents were telling us about the Biafran War, how they escaped from bombing and shelling, how they ran into the bush, and they were all very interesting stories. So all of us listened. So we always listen to our parents as heroes because of the stories they could tell us about some things that we would have been watching in films, but they said they actually experienced it. So those were very interesting for us to listen. So this Othello had so much rich history and experience to tell such stories that can captivate the attention of such a beautiful woman, Desdemona, the daughter of an influential senator of Venice, Mr. Brabantio. There were also stories about savage nations, the cannibals, man-eaters in Africa, whose heads extended beyond their shoulders. These tales portrayed Othello as a brave and gallant soldier, and Desdemona secretly wished she could be the wife of such a wondrous fellow. Okay. So secretly, Desdemona always wished to have as a husband a very brave warrior. And such were the characteristics that she found in Othello. And that's why she was in love with him. So despite the fact that there were other suitors that came around, suitors from royal backgrounds, suitors that the father would have wanted her to get in with, she still preferred Othello because of her brave demeanor. Brabantio, not hoping that his daughter could fall in love with a person of color like Othello, brought up his daughter in the most literal of environments. Desdemona loved the Moor even though he was black. She was keener to relate with his courageous sides and qualities. It was this man that she secretly wedded, keeping the incidents to themselves to the utter ignorance of her father. Brabantio. This secret was burst by Lago to Brabantio as the Turks headed for the island of Cyprus with the intention of grabbing the island from Venetians. Every eye turned to Othello, whose military skills were not in doubt. Such was the mood of the nation that Brabantio, a respected senator, brought the attention of the ruling elite of Venice to his domestic issue with Othello. Before the grave assembly of Venetian rulers, Brabantio's accusation of Othello using witchcraft to hoodwink and woo his daughter was denied by Desdemona herself. Okay, so Desdemona was so much in love with this black Moor known as Othello that they got married secretly, and they kept it to themselves. They didn't want the father to know about it, but the father later got to know during the war that they had with the Turks. The father even had to bring it up to the assembly of the Venetian rulers, and he was accusing Othello of using witchcraft to hoodwink and woo his daughter. And the daughter actually denied this. Okay. I did love the Moor to live with him. My downright violence and storm of fortune. My trumpet to the world. Subsequent utterances show that she loved her father, Brabantio, yet sought to be left to profess a loftier duty of love to her lord and husband, Othello, convinced that Lady Desdemona was, with all her senses, while the father was trying to make this accusation, hoodwink the daughter was busy professing her very dear love to Othello. And now seeing that all this happened out of her right senses, the father now gave blessings to this marriage. Okay, so this is introduction to this Othello. I wish you consult text and read summaries on this. Read the novel. This novel is written by I think the #1 novelist. I don't know how I can explain who William Shakespeare is. It's very, very interesting novel, and I'm not a very good person in literature, but I'm actually enjoying it. And I wish you read and enjoy it as well, so that we can have a very interactive class next time.
I'm familiar with the book already, sir.
Okay, you're familiar with it. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you. So, did you watch my video on the novels to read?
No, I haven't.
Please watch it so that you see other African literatures and non-African literatures that you need apart from this Othello, because lots of questions are going to be coming from these novels. Also, make sure you watch the previous videos that we've done in drama, prose, poetry, and figures of speech. We took time on all those so that you can be able to smash your literature in English and make, for me, 300 and above. I hope you know that's the benchmark for our students.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So make sure you're working towards that, okay?
All right.
So, Blessing, you're just joining, but we are ending the class now. Thank you. See you when I see you. So go watch the video on YouTube. So all our videos are on YouTube already. Save them.
All right.
Thank you. God bless you.